am Varanda. This is Mani Kuchibatlam from AS Engineering College, Associate Professor, Utility Department. Today, I would like to give you a brief demonstration of the electrical machines from experiments. Right, let me tell you, introduce the list of experiments that we have in this second year, first semester. Coming to these experiments, the first experiment is magnetization characteristics of a DC generator, and then load characteristics on the DC generator, shunt generator. And we had a load characteristics and as well as some tests will also be there for the different machines. So today I would like to, the other experiments are, we have load test on DC shunt motor and load test on DC compound motor, load test on series motor. These are concerned with the motor experiments. Coming to the generators, we have similarly load test on DC shunt generator, compound generator and series generator. And in addition to this one, we have other tests also, like field test on series machines, DC series machines, and off-pieces test on DC shunt machines. So like that, we have different experiments in your curriculum as per the JUPH syllabus. Right. Now today I am going to explain you about the magnetization characteristics of a DC shunt generator. Right. As it is a first class, I would like to explain you how to write the observation part as well as the record part on the given notebook what you have considered. So coming to the first one, first of all, every experiment, this is the title of the experiment, like magnetization characteristics of a DC shunt generator. DC shunt generator. DC shunt generator. And in this one, aim of the experiment. What is the aim of the experiment? First of all, we have to write on the right hand side. And what is the equipment that is required to conduct this experiment? And what are the nameplate details for the concerned machine you are conducting experiment on that? And then the concerned theory to that one we have to write on the right hand side. And then procedure, how we are going to conduct experiment on the given machine. And finally, we have to mention what are the precautions to be taken when you are performing experiment on the given machine. And finally, after conducting the experiment and obtaining the outcome from that one, we have to write down what is the result of that one. We have to write. So, and coming to the left hand side of the observation book or the record book, we have to write down the circuit diagram. We have to draw the circuit diagram by using pencil in the observation book. And then again we have to draw these tabular columns, anything that are concerned with the experiment, onto the left hand side of the book. Finally, this is concerned with the model graph. This also has to be drawn on the left hand side of the book. So first today I am going to explain in detail about the magnetization characteristics of a DC shunt generator. So in this one, what is the aim of the experiment? The aim of the experiment is to obtain experimentally the magnetization characteristics, is also called as open circuit characteristics of the DC shunt generator. So, and after obtaining the characteristic curve, we are going to calculate the critical field resistance RC, which is called critical field resistance RC, and then we are going to obtain the critical speed NC from the graph. So this is the aim of the experiment. And then coming to the nameplate details, as it is known to you that the DC generator which converts the mechanical energy to electrical energy. So we require a mechanical energy should be given to the generator. For that, here we are taking motor as a prime mover to supply the mechanical energy to the set, to the generator. Right. So it requires, from this you can understand that we require two machines, like one is a motor, DC motor, shunt motor we are taking, and the another one is a DC shunt generator we are taking. Right. So in this one, I would like to, before going to the circuit diagram explanation, here I will just talk about the nameplate details. We require a motor and as well as generator. Here in the motor and generator, nameplate details will be given on the machines, and it will have voltages, current and speed and the output. So coming to the voltage, for a motor the voltage is 220 volts and the output is 5 HP and the speed at which it will run is rated speed is 1500 RPM. Coming to the generator, the voltage is 220 volts and the current is 13 amperes and the output is 5 kilowatt and the rated speed is 1500 RPM. So now I would like to explain you the circuit diagram for the experiment. So let me introduce one by one here and I would like to explain you each and every point on the circuit diagram. So this is a DC voltage supply plus minus here. We are starting from this point and there will be a double pole single throw switch will be there represented like this and there are fuses here and then there is a 3-point starter will be there which is having L, F, A. L means it will go to the line, F means it will go to the field and A means it will go to the armature. And this is a representation, symbolic representation of the motor, DC motor. So here M with a circle which is a circle with M with the here a straight line here indicates that this is a DC motor and these two are the brushes and the terminals for this one is capital A and capital A. This is the representation of the armature of the DC motor. And coming to the field of the DC shunt motor, the field is represented with Z and double Z and this is called as a field winding of the motor. And if you observe, there is a rheostat which is connected in series with the field winding of the DC motor. It is called motor field rheostat. It is called motor field rheostat. And initial conditions are this rheostat should be kept in a minimum resistance position. If you observe, it is kept in minimum resistance position. And the next one, if you observe, there is a symbol here which is showing that a mechanical coupling between the motor and generator. So it is called a motor generator set. So this symbol is indicating there is a mechanical coupling between motor and generator. And coming to the generator part, it is a symbolic representation of the DC shunt generator. And it is connected across a voltmeter. It is connected directly across a voltmeter. And coming to the voltmeter, it is 0 to 300 volts range of NC. Means NC means this is a moving coil type. And if you observe, this is a potential divider. It is called a potential divider where we are using all the 3 terminals for the connection. Terminal 1, 2 and a variable terminal. 2 fixed terminals will be there and 1 variable terminal is there. So initially, this potential divider will be kept in minimum voltage position. Means the variable point should be at this point. And the rating of this one is 370 ohms or 1.7 amperes. In the generator, it is called as per the connection, it is potential divider and it is called as a variable resistance. And if you observe, the field excitation required for the field winding of the generator is given by this potential divider. And we can observe one ammeter we kept here. This ammeter is known as, this ammeter is having a rating of 0 to 2 amperes and C moving coil type. And here Z and double Z. Now let me tell you one point here. When we are conducting open circuit characteristic curve, whether it is a shunt generator or a separately excited generator or any type of the generator, first of all we need to excite the field winding separately. So that's what we are doing here. Let us say this is I consider here a shunt generator. But actually what type of generator it may be, the field has to be separated and it has been excited separately. That is what we have done by giving a separate excitation to the field winding here. And next, as mentioned earlier, we need to know, obtain the values for open circuit voltage for the corresponding field current IF. As I am changing field current, we need to observe how the EMF that is generated that we are going to obtain by conducting the experiment. Right. Now, first of all, again I am telling you the initial conditions what we have to check. The first condition we have to check is the field rheostat in the motor should be kept in minimum resistance position and the potential divider of the generator is kept in minimum potential position. These are the first points we need to check. And after that, supplies DC supply. I am telling about the procedure right now. Now, coming once the connections are made as per the circuit diagram and all the requirements are kept in initial positions, we have to start the experiment. First, DC supply has to be given to the circuit diagram after making all the connections and verifying those initial conditions. And then by using a 3-point starter after closing the switch, by using a 3-point starter, we will start the motor. And after that, we will measure the speed of the motor generator set. Because these two are kept on the same shaft, we will measure the speed of the motor generator set. If it is less than the rated speed 1500 rpm, we need to adjust the speed of the motor generator set with the help of the field rheostat of the motor. And once it is kept at the rated speed 1500 rpm, then we need to note down the corresponding output voltages of the generator. Now, for that one, I would like to explain you the tabular form how we have to draw. So, see here, this is a tabular column, serial number, and there is two columns I kept here. One is ascending order and descending order. What do you mean by ascending order and descending order? So, ascending order here, I am increasing gradually the field current of the generator, so that I would like to observe how the output voltage is changing. And the other case, where I am decreasing the field current from the maximum value to the minimum value, how the output voltage has been changing. So that is why for ascending means I am considering ascending out of the field current amperes, and for descending means it is a field current when I am reducing how the voltage has been changing. So here we are going to draw two OCCs. One OCC or magnetization characteristic curve in the ascending order first and then in the descending order next. Right. So for this one, first what I have to do? So gradually the first thing I am going to make a note here. Let us assume when the field current is 0, means when the potential divided at 0 voltage potential condition, the field current of the generator here, it reaches 0 amperes. So here when it is 0 amperes, there will be some voltage read by the voltmeter here. Let us suppose this will have around 8 volts. 8 volts. Let us suppose. So initially there will be some voltage exist in the generator. That voltage is called a residual voltage, and this is because of residual flux. So, and first of all we need to note down this one. That is why when we draw the graph also, this will start from some voltage value higher than the origin point here. So this will be, in particular case it is 8 volts. In our case it is 8 volts for an example. So after that what we have to do? I need to gradually vary this potential divider in such a case that let us assume now the field current is 0.1 ampere. I need to vary the potential divider there, and I have to verify always the speed has to be maintained constant. Now, after keeping the potential divider such that the field current is 0.1 ampere there, I need to verify the speed of this motor generator set. If the speed falls or any change in the speed, we need to adjust the speed to again the rated speed 1500 rpm by varying the speed rheostat of the motor. So this first point we have to take care, and correspondingly for the 0.1 ampere of the field current, we have to know what is the voltage corresponding to this one. Like this, we have to go in step by step manner, like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 and so on up to 0.9. So we have to make a note of this. Here I would like to stress one point. We can increase we can apply the voltage to the field winding like up to 120% of its rated value. That means we can even go up to 265. The rated voltage is 220 volts. The rated voltage is 220 volts. We can even go up to 120% more. Means it will be around 265 volts. So more than that also we are going. That point we need to remember. In that direction we will go. And once after completing that one, we have to move the potential divider in such a way in forward direction very slowly. And it should not be like back and forth. So that point we need to observe. And after reaching the maximum value here of the field current, this is completing your ascending order. Means the first case here on the graph. Next, after completing that one, reaching the maximum field current, again at that condition this will be the potential divider position by the end of the field. And after that, now I am doing the descending order, which is starting from starting from 0.9 amperes. So there will be some rated voltage, more than rated. Let us assume this is our 265 volts. We reach that point earlier here, 265. Let us assume. So now what we have to do? We have to gradually decrease this potential divider position, and we are getting down the remaining voltages one by one. But for every condition, we have to check that the motor generator should be running at the rated speed, and that can be done with variation of this variable resistance of the motor or the field rheostat of the motor here. So, and finally, if you reach again go back to this one, the zero condition of the field current, we may get around the 12 volts or something. So, the moment if you reach the zero current for this field current of the generator, there will be some voltage that is existing in the generator, and that is example, it is a 12 volts. So by this way, we have to note down all the readings for the ascending order and for the descending order, and by having a relation between your field current, how your output voltage is changing, we can draw by using a graph sheet here. So in this graph sheet, we have to note down the x-axis will be considered as a field current and y-axis is taken as a EMF generator. So first we will start with the ascending order. So and we have to choose a proper scale for x-axis and as well as y-axis. And here let us say I am taking here 0.1 ampere, 0.2, 0.3 and so on, 0.9 amperes on the x-axis, and at y-axis I am taking 20, 40, 60 and so on up to 280 volts. So and after that, what we have to do, keep all the points what you have obtained from the your experimental results we are going to incorporate on the graph here. So after putting all the values of these readings on the graph, so now we will join the graph with your freehand curve. It is called freehand curve. So we have to join all the points here. So this is representing your ascending order, or under ascending order, what is the OCC for the given motor generator set. And for the descending order, again join all the points with the freehand and it will reach the upper value. So this voltage is called the residual voltage. This is because of the residual flux. The other case will make it around 12 volts, for example, I have taken. So let me tell you the another point. After completing your experiment, we need to switch off this motor generator set. So once you bring back to the initial position of this potential divider, what you have to do is again bring back this field rheostat to the minimum position, and then don't touch the 3-point starter. Simply switch off the supply to the DC motor. So with this we have known how to obtain the open circuit characteristic or magnetization characteristic given for a DC generator. And after drawing this OCC, we have to take like a characteristics will be taken, average curve will be taken for this one, which is drawn with a we can draw an average of these two, and for that curve we can draw the tangent line of the considered OCC. From that tangent line we can calculate critical field resistance RC, and from next we can calculate the critical speed also from the graph. So now in the continuation we are going to do the experiment practically. I would like to show you how we are going to perform the experiment on the in the laboratory. Thank you. Right. Very good morning to one and all. In the morning session, we have gone through the procedural steps for how to conduct the magnetization characteristics for a DC generator. Now, I would like to explain the practical part of that one. Before going to that one, I would like to introduce the terminals of the particular experiment here. So, first I would like to show it to you the fuses, and this is a DPST switch what we have seen in the morning circuit diagram, and this is a plus minus supply, that is 220 volt supply is available to us, and this is called variable resistance in the motor circuit, and these are L, A, Z. So these 3 points corresponding to the 3-point starter. L goes to the line and A means armature and Z means field. This can also be represented as F also. And coming to the Z and double Z terminals, this is the representation for the field winding of the motor. And next A and AA, these are representation of armature winding of the motor. As I shown you in the morning, like the symbol in between shows that there is a mechanical coupling between motor and the generator. And to the right hand side we had a symbolic representation of the armature AA of the generator. And Z double Z is there as the field winding representation. And coming to the other one, this is a potential divider which is placed in the generator field circuit. From this potential divider we are exciting the field winding of the generator. And here I kept one voltmeter to measure the open circuit voltage of the generator, and I have connected in series with the field winding. In series with the field winding, I kept an ammeter to measure the field current. This is actually the motor generator set, and if we observe, there is a mechanical coupling between the motor and the generator. And we can also observe there is a nameplate details on each and every machine. Like this is the nameplate details of the generator, and those are the nameplate details of the motor. And if we observe, there is a shaft which is coupled between these two. If we want to measure the speed of the particular generator, we can measure the speed from this point by using a tachometer. Now we are going to start the experiment, but before that we need to check the variable resistance of the motor circuit should be kept in minimum resistance position. It is already there in the minimum resistance position. And coming to the potential divider, it should be kept in zero voltage position. It is already there in zero voltage position. And every student must wear footwear, complete shoe, and such that there should be very precautious when doing the experiment, right? And coming to the 3-point starter, it is used to start the motor safely. A resistance is included in the 3-point starter. Initially it will be kept in maximum resistance position. Once the motor started, this resistance will be cut by point, so that there should not be any dangerous current at the time of starting the motor. Now we will start the motor. First we will switch on the supply. And then by using 3-point starter, we are gradually moving the 3-point starter, and it is kept at the end position. Now the motor generator set starts rotating. Now we are going to check the speed of the set, and we can observe that it is 1448 RPM. But we know that the rated speed of the set is 1500 RPM. So we are adjusting the speed of the motor by varying the field rheostat of the motor. So we are gradually increasing the resistance here, so that the speed will be attained 1500 RPM, which is a rated RPM. Now, if you observe, the potential divider is at zero position. Now we are going to measure for the corresponding field current IF equal to 0 in this ammeter. We can observe there is a voltage initially, and that voltage is around 8 volts. If we observe, it is 8 volts. So this voltage is called residual voltage, and this is because of the residual flux existing in the generator field poles at the time of starting. Now we are gradually increasing the field current by varying the potential divider. So first value I am noting down here. For the zero field current amperes, the generated voltage is 8 volts. 18 volts. Right, 18 volts. It is connected to what scale actually?
Upper scale.
300 volts, upper scale, right. Now it is 18 volts. Now we are increasing gradually the field current to 0.1 ampere. So when the field current is 0.1 ampere, I am measuring the generated voltage 68 volts. And now we are gradually increasing the field current to 0.2 amperes.
0.2.
And the corresponding voltage is
120 volts.
120 volts. Now we are further increasing the current to 0.3 amperes. The concerned voltage is 152 volts. And now we are keeping 0.4 amperes. And we have to check the speed also meanwhile. Once we will check the speed. So it is a 1506 RPM. We are simply adjusting the motor variable resistance such that it is 1500 RPM, maintained constant. Now for 0.4 amperes the corresponding voltage is 176 volts.
Next 0.5.
Now 0.5 amperes 188 volts is the open circuit voltage. And for 0.6 amperes the voltage is 200 volts. And for 0.7 amperes 212 is the open circuit voltage. And 0.8 amperes 218 volts. And we will go up to 0.9 amperes, that was the last reading. The open circuit voltage is 224 volts. This curve is called, in the forward direction, open circuit characteristic curve or the magnetization characteristic curve. With this we have completed the forward characteristic curve. Now we are going for the reverse characteristic curve, descending order characteristic curve. So now we are gradually decreasing the field potential divider such that the field current will gradually decrease. Now my first reading is 0.9 amperes and the corresponding voltage is 224 volts. Now we will go to 0.8 amperes. We will adjust the potential divider to 0.8 amperes such that 0.8 amperes. Now the voltage is 220 volts. Now for 0.7 amperes 216 volts, and for 0.6 amperes 208 volts, and for 0.5 amperes 196 volts, 196 volts, and for 0.4 amperes 184 volts, and for 0.3 amperes 164 volts, for 0.2 132 volts, and for 0.1 ampere field current 86 volts. Now we are completely bringing the potential divider to 0 position, for which the field current is 0 amperes, but there is a corresponding voltage and that voltage is 20 volts. This is called residual voltage. And with this we have completed in the descending order. As the field current is getting decreasing, the generated voltage is also getting decreasing, and for the zero field current the voltage is 20 volts. Now I am explaining how to switch off the supply for the concerned experiment what we are doing. So initially we need to bring the meters to the initial position, then only we need to switch off the supply, don't touch the 3-point starter. So now we need to bring the field rheostat of the motor to the zero resistance position and switch off the supply. Then the 3-point starter will come automatically back to its initial position. This experiment like open circuit characteristic curve or the magnetization characteristic curve for the DC shunt generator. Based on these readings, now we are going to draw the graph. Right. Good afternoon, one and all. Now, till now we have conducted the experiment on DC shunt generator for calculating critical field resistance and critical speed by conducting open circuit characteristic curve. This is the curve what we have obtained for the experiment what we have done. But let me tell you here, these are the tabulated values from the experiment, like here ascending order and descending order. In the field current is increasing from 0 to 0.9 amperes. The corresponding voltages I noted down here. And similarly on the other side, the moment when we reach 224 volts for 0.9 amperes, we are gradually decreasing, and we got for 0 field current, 0 amperes field current, we got 20 volts, which is called as a residual voltage. And based on these values, we are going to draw the open circuit characteristic curve on this one. Now let us take a graph sheet and take on x-axis the field current and y-axis generated voltage. So in this one, appropriately with your values what you obtained, take on x-axis 1 unit equal to 0.1 ampere and y-axis 1 unit equal to 10 volts. And after that we are going to put mark the values what you obtained for as well as IF increasing and IF decreasing, and after that do join all the points for IF increasing and IF decreasing with a free hand curve. And after that here we can take the resultant OCC also, but these two are very nearer to one another. I am considering only the forward OCC. In the forward OCC, if we observe, the residual voltage is 18 volts here, and from that I have drawn a tangent to the initial portion of the open circuit characteristic curve. That is called, I named this as tangent to OCC, and I marked with NM. And then I have taken a line which corresponds to your field resistance, that is RHH line. Starting from the origin, join a point to the rated voltage of 224, which is marked as A. And now we have two lines. One is RHH line and the second one is critical field resistance line. So critical field resistance line is MN and RSH line is OA. After that, now we are going to calculate what is the critical resistance. So critical field resistance will be calculating slope for the tangent line. So that is nothing but y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Take 2 points on the line Mn and project this to the y-axis named as y2 y1 and onto the x-axis named as x2 x1, and calculating the slope of that one, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So 120 minus 90 by 0.16 minus 0.11. So when I simplified this one, I obtained 600 ohms. And next I am going to draw the RSH line. So for RSH line, take any point S on the tangent line and drop it to the x-axis, and this point I marked as R here. So after drawing the RSH line, I am considering RSH line at the point T here. So when we are dropping a line from the
critical field resistance line like tangent to the OCC onto the x-axis, this line will intersect the RSH line at the point T. So from that one we know the equation N2 by N1 equal to E2 by E1. So here the E2 corresponding values is RT and RS. So E2 by E1 equal to NC by N here. N is a rated speed here. So I have taken the measured the values of RT and RS, that is 60 by 170 into 1500. So from with this we can calculate the critical speed, which is 529.4 rpm. From this graph I obtained. So finally, after conducting the experiment magnetization characteristic curve, also called as open circuit characteristic curve, for the DC shunt generator, we obtained the critical field resistance RC as 600 ohms and critical speed as 529.4 rpm.